Nestled in the heart of Yakima Valley, the city of Sunnyside proudly celebrates its Mexican heritage. But when ICE came to town in January, fear gripped this community where 90% of its residents are Hispanic. This video shows the reality. Agents arresting someone at a grocery store parking lot.
Stand by.
Here, agents pull over a man they thought matched someone they were looking for.
What's your name, sir?
It's okay, babe.
The city froze in fear.
Do you want to say something?
When Sunnyside city leaders called a press conference to calm residents' nerves, an unwelcome visitor arrived.
My name is Martin Alvarado. I'm a bounty hunter by trade.
There was a gentleman that showed up to the press conference in a mask.
What part of illegal don't you understand?
City manager Mike Gonzalez stepped in when the confrontation heated up.
It's time for you to be quiet and leave.
Why? Because I'm telling the truth?
Because you don't even have the cojones to wear take off the mask, bro. That's why. It is my problem.
Gonzalez explains why he reacted so strongly.
There's not a family in this community that hasn't been touched by this issue or, hasn't had a family member that's come and is undocumented.
Sunnyside doesn't call itself a sanctuary city, but it follows state law that prevents any local agencies from helping federal immigration agents.
We're not going to help ICE with anything. That's the stance that we have to take because the state government has taken that stance, and we're taking that directive from the governor's office.
But not all jurisdictions embrace that state law.
But in my humble opinion, the sanctuary laws in this state are unconstitutional.
Klickitat County Sheriff Bob Songer has eagerly waited for ICE to call.
And I'm a little disappointed. I figured it'd reach out to me. I made it very clear I would be on speed dial for them if they were interested.
Songer pledges allegiance to federal law over state directives.
That's an unconstitutional law, in my opinion. They are saying, as a sheriff, as a law enforcement officer, that I'm not even allowed to ask an individual if they're illegal.
His solution for undocumented immigrants?
Self-deport, so they can come back into the country legally.
Legal immigration requires employers willing to handle paperwork and pay fees, or sponsors who can help immigrants navigate the system. Northwest Immigrant Rights Project's Malu Chavez says the process isn't simple.
They may not have the U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident family member who can petition for them. They may not be a victim of a crime. They may not fear persecution if they were to be deported.
This is where the good food is right here, right? This is the spot, huh?
Back in Sunnyside, Gonzalez says he's relieved to see the community out celebrating Cinco de Mayo at the city's festival.
When ICE came to town, they stopped going to our businesses. Our grocery stores were empty. Our merchants were starting to get worried. So, that's the direct impact that some of this political rhetoric has on our communities.
According to this executive order, removing all undocumented immigrants from Washington would cost the state $14.5 billion in economic activity, $6.4 billion in gross revenue, and eliminate approximately 71,000 jobs.
Hey, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo haces? Bien. Bien.
Despite Sunnyside's unofficial sanctuary status, Gonzalez says immigration isn't a political issue for him.
The stance that our state is taking, I agree with, and the interesting thing is that I am a registered Republican and very moderate. So, believe me, I've taken shots from the right.
And the Constitution laws of the state of Washington.
Labels don't define Sheriff Bob Songer either.
In 1990, I ran for sheriff in Clark County as a Democrat.
Well, Mike Gonzalez, city manager.
Both leaders show in a region where immigration debates often split along party lines, the lines between red and blue blur. And the real story of Eastern Washington is one of people, not politics. With photojournalist Rachel Kim for Facing Race, Sharon Yu, King 5 News.